Now, the winner of the presidential election in Senegal is expected to be opposition challenger Bassirou Diomaye Faye.
Le président de la République du Sénégal.
If there's a story out of Africa recently, a story that re-energizes the continent, it is the election of President Bassirou Faye, supported by his counterpart, Ousmane Sonko.
La charge de président de la République du Sénégal.
At just 44 years old and recently a jailbird, this man did the unbelievable, released only 10 days to the election, 10 days to the ballot. Mark that, 10 days to the ballot. A prisoner of his conscience. But even with that, he managed to beat President Macky Sall's preferred candidate in this election. This has got to be the most inspiring story for young people on the continent of Africa, thirsty to have the old men, the grand old men of African politics, to step aside and give fresh minds the opportunity to run the affairs of the continent, although with the help of the wise old men. Not the ones who rip off Africa. There's two kinds of them. The wise old men and the crooked old men who have kept Africa shackled all this time. That's the inspirational story I would like to share with you wherever you are. So grab that coffee, grab that drink, subscribe, and ring that bell. And let's get on to this journey. We are all about celebrating Africa. Senegal got its independence in the early 60s, and within the West Africa region, it's the one country that has survived coups, while most of West Africa has struggled with the influence of the military. Coup after coup, sometimes 6 to 8 coups in a space of even 2 years. But Senegal has remained as a bastion of democracy, of the rule of law. Unfortunately, in the few years before his term expired, President Macky Sall became something else, playing dirty, using the police force, trying to clamp down on democratic rights, democratic ideals as espoused within their constitution. Now, in come two gentlemen, both men who worked in the tax department, Ousmane Sonko and the now elected president, Faye. They spoke truth to power in the run-up to the election when President Macky Sall attempted to extend his time in office all the way to December, rather than having an election in February of this year. I think we must give due credit, though, that for some reason, sense got to President Macky Sall's head, and he figured, let me leave a clean legacy for the people of Senegal, allow the election to happen within that reasonable time, and let history unfold. And the way history has unfolded in Senegal is to set an example for the future generation of Senegal, for West Africa, and indeed for Africa. Africa has been yearning young leadership. Ambassador Shiombori, who worked for the Africa Union and a representative in the US, has been one very articulate lady on matters Pan-Africanism, on matters leadership, and on the call to have a generation that can step in the gap with a better understanding of what the world requires today. Not men and women who are 8 decades old, trying to chart a way forward for a young population that is in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, who in reality should be the ones holding the mantle of leadership. So though the state wanted to deny these two gentlemen the opportunity to run for office, indeed Ousmane Sonko, out of the technicalities based on the cases that he had against him, was knocked out of the opportunity to run as president. But he had the masses with him. He had the full force considering the results of the election, right behind him. And in a stroke of genius, though he was stopped by President Macky Sall's government, Sonko essentially donated his voting bloc to President Faye, very close in age, and obviously offer an opportunity for young minds to be able to charge the cause of the nation of Senegal. So this was a brilliant moment to decide that if you're not going to allow me, as Bob Marley would say, you can stop one man, but you cannot stop the entire nation. Another brother was available, Diomaye Faye. For us, we can only say, congratulations, félicitations, and we wish you nothing but the best, our Senegalese brothers and sisters. We hope that you can push your country forward and set an example that will inspire generations to come, inspire Africa to get its act together. We've got brothers and sisters across the world who are looking up to you and thinking, my oh my, Senegal has been this stable, and they've proved again that it can be done. So obviously there will be a positive effect in terms of an influx of visitors from the diaspora looking to engage with the continent, and specifically engage with Senegal, because you have proved that it can be done. So I say thank you for watching, and Monsieur President, félicitations, hongera, and bye-bye for now. Please, if you haven't subscribed, Mr. President, and my Senegalese brothers and sisters, and indeed Africa and the rest of the diaspora, subscribe please, ring that bell. There's a lot more to come. I think we'll be following up on Senegal's stories in the next several episodes, because we are excited and we are charged for Africa. Africa is indeed our business, and we've got no apologies to make for it. Senegal has proved it. This is AOB. I'm out.